Nearly 90% of the leafy greens consumed between November and March are grown right here in Arizona. So Lupe, what is this crop that we're standing in front of? It looks a little different from the spinach we were at.
Yes, so this is a cabbage, right? This is green cabbage. We grow different types of cabbage. We have a red and a green. And so speaking of the food safety, it's different. Like you say, the spinach is just, a leaf, right? So here, it's at a young stage, but here you see the cabbage, but you see the outer leaves. So the outer leaves are not harvested.
Okay.
And so, it creates a little bit of a barrier to protect the plant. But this is also, 90 to 120 day crop. The difference between the harvesting practices of a spinach is a mechanical, right? It's like a lawnmower, we can say, versus here you have a machine, but then you have people physically cutting with a knife.
Okay.
So there's different food safety because now you got to have sanitation for your knives. Machines, regardless of mechanical or just manual, there's also sanitation daily for those. So here you have somebody physically walking and visually inspecting, making sure there's no risk involved with the plant itself.
Yeah. And you said they have to wear pants when they're out here in the field?
Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody's required to wear, long pants.
Yeah.
These guys, because this type of plant, usually it's wet, right? So usually it's a wet environment. So the guys wear like the rubber boots. And then they also require an apron. They have to, daily they're provided an apron. They wear sleeves, top of their shirt, and then they wear the hairnet and the gloves. And every time they go out to break, then those come off before they take the break, before they go to the bathroom.
Yep.
If their gloves are torn or they're really dirty, then these are disposable, so they just
get some new ones.
Change them out.
Yep. Well, that makes me feel good about all the cabbage that
Yes.
that we eat for sure. And from a standpoint of, is there a difference in a vegetable like cabbage versus a leaf? Like I always think like it looks like it's more contained, right? Like you said, it grows up around.
Yeah,
it's more
and
protected.
So obviously, this closes up, so we got to make sure nothing gets in it
Down in
when
there.
it closes. It's kind of like your romaine, it closes up, and so there's different risks. Obviously, we always take in consideration what's happening in our environment.
Right.
What are some of the risks that present themselves?
Yep.
Nature Fresh Farms grows both conventional and organic products, including leafy greens like spinach, cabbage, and broccoli.
We have moved on to a field of broccoli. So Lupe, how does this need different protection when it comes to food safety versus some of the other greens that we've looked at?
Well, as you can see, looking at the plant, what actually gets harvested is the actual crown. So it sits on top of the actual plant. Therefore, you consider the food safety risk different than if it were lower, like a spinach that we looked at, or a cabbage, or these leaves actually do not get harvested. And then it just depends on how they're going to process it, if it's going to be florets or if it's going to be whole crown. The customer will determine that. But as far as the food safety risk, the risk is different because it sits on top. Obviously, we're still worried about birds, the environment. Here we grow close to a river, so we may have more animal hazards. But as far as the actual process, it gets treated the same like any other crop.
And is this one hand harvested or machine?
This will be hand harvested.
Yeah, I figured based on the way that this is, like this broccoli is kind of set down inside here. So you've got a whole different process from field to field here. It's very interesting. Well, thank you for showing me all of this different produce and veggies that are grown here and the way that you guys make sure that they get all the way to our plate in the middle of Iowa safely and we've got a healthy product.
The food safety methods keeping your greens hearty and healthy.